What is up, guys? Honey Dragon here, welcoming you back. So, if you guys haven't heard the news, the Twin Leaf Turtwigs are now in the playoffs. Yeah, that's pretty great news and pretty big news. Second season in a row, bringing it strong. It's all thanks to Tornadus Therian. Thank you, Torn T. But before I talk about that, I'm not going to do a week 10 because it was more of a troll. Me and Ace both had teams made by someone else and we just kind of rolled the eyes. So I'm not really going to do that. If you really want to watch the 70-turn battle, I'll link the replay in the description. But, for playoffs, I felt like we had a very threatening turn one, very threatening week one matchup. So, since we are in the Sinnoh division, we would be facing someone in the Kanto division, and TJ, Omega, and Granbel were very, very close. Like, it came down to differential. That's how close they were. And it went from Omega being number one in division to almost losing playoff spot. That's how close it was. So after all that stuff happened, it was decided that we would be facing Granbel, coach of the Boston Septiles, which is the replacement team for the Bel Air Bewares. And they have a very, very, very threatening team. Manaphy, Entei, Jolteon, Amoonguss, Ditto, Cacturn, Mega Absol, Excadrill, Necrozma, Gigalith, Slacking. So Sand plus Manaphy plus Entei and Mega Absol. That's pretty scary. And then they have like a Jolteon and a Necrozma as well for some additional annoyance. So looking at this team, I wanted to play very safely, bring a very balanced team, more defensive than I normally would, just because I want to make sure I can live these big threats like Excadrill and Manaphy and shut them down safely. So to start things off, I brought Ice Serena, a special defensive set with Yachi. So this is a great wall to Manaphy. Plus 3, Ice Beam does like 66% max with Yachi. Drop Kick is a guaranteed 2-hit KO on Manaphy. I have Synthesis for recovery, U-turn for that slow recovery if I'm expecting to switch, and Rapid Spin for the rocks coming from the Necrozma or Gigalith. So that's Serena. It's also really good because Drop Kick hits the Gigalith for super effective damage. I can't speak today, sorry about that. And it also hits the Excadrill for neutral damage, but it also gets a -1 attack drop, which is really nice for that Sun Super. Next up we have Volcarona, which technically should not even be on this team. It was a rock polished Mega Steelix, but last minute it got changed to a Volcarona. So this Volcarona is the standard Quiver Dance set, Fiery Dance, Bug Buzz, Giga Drain. After a Quiver Dance or a +1 boost, I can live a +3 Scald and a +3 Ice Beam with the Pasho Berry from the Manaphy, so that's what I have for here. To be honest, the very real reason why I didn't bring it was because of the Excadrill Gigalith, and I was like, well, that's gonna just sweep me. But talking to Ace and a few other people there, it's like, yeah, Sand's not coming because you have Mega Steelix, which ability is boosted by the Sand, and you have Pellet Burr. So I listened to them, and they convinced me to bring Volcarona. So here's Volcarona. This is my win condition. I set up and I sweep. There's that. Next up, we have. I can't scroll. Next, we have Mamoswine. This Mamoswine set is very particular. I don't remember when I was outspeeding. I think this set, I haven't done this team for like 2 weeks, so I already forget. Alright, I remember now. This Mammoth Swine set was to outspeed Jolteon. And that's pretty much about it. Adamant Earthquake just kind of shits on his team. Manaphy gets 2-hit KO'd. Entei gets O-Code. Jolteon gets O-Code. Amoonguss gets 2-hit or 3-hit KO'd depending on spread. Also, I have Icicle Crash for the Amoonguss. Ditto's Ditto. I mean, Mammoth Swine Earthquake, 2-hit KOs. And opposing the Mammoth Swine, or the Ditto, which is the Mammoth Swine, hits Excadrill, Necrozma, and Mega Absol, and O-Codes all 3 of them, except for the Gigalith. That's a 2-hit KO because it has insane defense. Basically, I'm going to capitalize on the fact that Granbel has no real great ground resist, his only ground resist being Cacturn, and just kind of bringing in Mammoth Swine and clicking Earthquake, either getting a kill or doing massive damage. And there's that. Ice Shard in case the opposing mon is a Scarf. I actually really don't know why I had Ice Shard on there. I do that a lot. Icicle Crash is mostly for the Amoonguss, and if I need to, and I'm locked in Icicle Crash and I can't really afford to switch out, I will play the Flinch game if I need to. Knockoff is there if I'm expecting to switch, because they need to save their win condition being Excadrill, and they go out into something, I don't know, like especially physically defensive Amoonguss, or goes into like Air Balloon Entei, I don't know, or Air Balloon Jolteon. That could be a thing I can knock off, get the damage, or get rid of the item, if anything. Talking about Necrozma, I don't really have a great way to beat that in any way, so I'm bringing a pretty special set of mine, that being the special defensive bulk up Shed Skin Scrafty. I'm gonna go leftover Shed Skin because this set isn't meant to go fast like the Dragon Dance set, Noxie. I don't really need the Intimidate. This set is meant to take those hits on a special side really well, and then use that to capitalize a bulk up for me, and then become pretty much unstoppable on the defensive side as well as hit extremely hard. Drain Punches for extra recovery, Knockoff for getting rid of the items, and I was then Headbutt for the Amoonguss because I really had nothing to hit it with Stab. So that's basically the job of Scrafty. Also, Necrozma can't touch Scrafty at all. Doesn't get anything to hit it super effectively unless it gets like a fighting move, which I doubt. It's going to be probably like Rocks or Prismatic Laser Spec set, one of the two, something like that. Anyway, Scrafty can capitalize on that and set up and basically put a lot of pressure, because I think after like +2 or +3, I know +3 Drain Punch is like guaranteed 2-hit KO on Gigalith, max HP, max defense, and does like 80%. It's insane how much damage Scrafty does. And in the case I do get this set up, I have Shed Skin for the stuff like Toxics and Burns to get rid of that. If anything else, I can always just use this as a way to take a hit. Like if the Manaphy isn't set up yet, I can take that hit and knock off the item, or Drain Punch, or something like that. And even without any boost, it deals with the Excadrill pretty well. And I mean, I'm not too afraid with the Entei with this set, because I have the Shed Skin to protect me from the burns from the Sacred Fire if I do get burned. But talking about that, let's go on to our last 2 mons. And that, well, you can't see the last 2 mons. Next mon is our Blastoise. We're going in the Assault Vest route because, well, I mean, it really has no status set. I mean, Toxic is like the only thing I would bring against this team, and, well, they have a Poison type, you have a Steel type, and you have a Magic Bouncer. And a lot of things are frail and fast and hard-hitting. So, Scald is there for Stab, hits a Gigalith super effectively. Even in the sand, it does a pretty decent amount of damage, have a chance to burn. Same with the Excadrill. Hits Entei for super effective damage. hits the Absol pretty nicely. I have Mirror Coat for the Jolteon Volt Switch, if that comes, as well as a Manaphy Energy Ball. I just click Mirror Coat, and I'm pretty happy. The Assault Vest is there because I can take a +3 Energy Ball from a Manaphy and just coat it with Mirror Coat, which is kind of nice. I have a Clear Sphere also for the Excadrill, Gigalith, Mega Absol, but more likely than not, the Clear Sphere is only for the Absol. I have Rapid Spin for the rocks just because, I mean, I'm not super weak to it, but it's nice to keep Serena healthy as it keeps on switching out and doesn't have to be forced to synthesis all the time. Last Mon, I don't know, you can't see it, is our Gardevoir set. This is another Toy Scarfer. We have Thunderbolt, Psychic, Focus Blast, HP, Ground. Only stab is Psychic. Thunderbolt hits the Manaphy super effectively. Psychic hits the Amoonguss because if I had Moonblast, then I'm basically walled by Amoonguss, and that's kind of unfortunate for me because then he gets a free Regenerator switching. Then I have Focus Blast for the Mega Absol, Excadrill, Gigalith, and I mean, even in Sand, it does a very nice amount to Gigalith, does like 40%. Then I have HP Ground in case I don't want to go with that Focus Blast, and that Excadrill is at a very low amount of health, or the Entei is at a very low amount of health. I can just click it and be fine with it. Granted, I can just click Thunderbolt or Psychic as well, but, you know, sometimes you need that flare with that HP. It's not necessary, but I have it anyways. So that's the team. Hope you guys enjoyed that part. Hope you guys understand my thought process through this. And I guess all we have to do now is show you the match, see the outcome. See you in 2 seconds. And we are back. Alright. So, looking at the team Granbel brought, not what I was expecting at all. He brought the Sand, which made me hit my head against the keyboard because I was like, well, I should have definitely brought Steelix. I'm really upset I didn't bring Steelix. And Volcarona is not going to get any sweeps at this point. It's going to be a sack at this point. Hey, maybe I can use it for Flame Body, maybe not. It's kind of useless as long as Excadrill is alive. So, looking at this team, there's a real Mamo switching, but at the same time it really depends on what move I'm going to be using. I don't want to lead off right away with Mamo because I want to just see how everything's going. I want to see what his lead is and how he wants to lead off. Does he want to lead off? Yeah. Does he want to lead aggressively or a little bit more passively? I will find that out. So I'm just going to lead off with the Scrafty just to play it safe. And out comes Manaphy. I wasn't really sure what this was doing, so I just stayed in. And he got the Dazzling Gleam, and I get the knockoff. It's the Assault Vest, so no, there's no Tail Glow, so I'm fine with that. But I want to keep Scrafty alive, so I hard switch in my Serena, who takes the Dazzling Gleam again. And at this point, he doesn't want to obviously lose his Manaphy, so he switches out into his Ditto to take the Drop Kick, which was pretty smart on his part because this is his like only way to take the Drop Kick. He goes for the U-turn. I decide to stay in and actually go for my own U-turn. I wanted to see what he does, and he goes right into the Gigalith, putting up that Sand for the really hard pressure. And I just go into Scrafty because I know, well, I can just click Drain Punch and I do massive damage to this, or the Excadrill. So he switches out into the Manaphy as I get the Drain Punch damage, which is a nice little bit amount of health. Expecting the Dazzling Gleam again, I hard switch into Blastoise this time, just so I can also check this with the Mirror Coat, Mirror Coat. Expecting him to switch out because, expecting it, I go for the Scald this turn. He gets a nice Energy Ball damage. Probably sees I'm EV, maybe not, I don't know. So sad I didn't get to do it. He goes for the Energy Ball again as I get the Mirror Coat this time. But at this point, Blastoise is not a switch into the Excadrill at any point, so I just let this thing go down now. And well, I find out that this thing is Life Orb. So I hard switch into Serena, and then hard switch out into Volcarona for the burn hacks. Hopefully I get it. And I get it. But it was also because nice chip damage on the Excadrill through the Life Orb, and I knew he was not going to go Rock Slide turn 1 on the Serena. And maybe I'll see what he does. And then force him to go with the Stone Edge the next turn and switch out again. I wasn't planning for the burn, it just helped. Yes, I know getting the burn is definitely a game changer, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that are game changers, so there's that. Expecting this, I switch out the Volcarona. I hit the play button for some reason, and I do get the burn, which is nice. And I hard switch into the Serena to just take this Rock Slide, which is sadly a miss, which might have mattered, maybe not. Expecting the switch, I go for the Synthesis up, and I get it, which is nice. Expecting the switch, he goes to the Chop Kick. I guess also expecting the U-turn. The U-turn will do a lot less. I don't really know, but I switch on to the Mammoth one and I click Icicle Crash, take out the Serena. Probably I would also be getting the Earthquake kill, but I wasn't sure. So I went Ice Crash to be safe. I switch out my Mammoth into the Serena, expecting something. I didn't want to lose my Mammoth because that is my win condition. I go for the Drop Kick because nothing really can take it. I do a lot of damage, and this Stone Edge doesn't do enough damage. It does a lot of damage, but at this point there's no mana fee, so I don't really mind. I Drop Kick again. I miss out the KO, and I'm at a range where Sandstorm does not kill me, but it's very close. Expecting the switch to save the Gigalith for the Excadrill next turn. I go for the Synthesis, which might have been a bad play because, well, I only heal like 24%. At this point I want to see what this Absol is, so I stay in with the Absol, with the Serena, and hard switch out. Absol takes a little bit of chip damage, and I know this is a mixed set, so I'm going to go into my Gardevoir, and expecting him to switch out into the Moonblast into the Excadrill, I click Focus Blast, and I miss. So, right there, if I hit the Focus Blast, the burn didn't matter because this would be dead. Even if he hit the Rock Slide, yes, Serena would not have lived to hit the Gigalith the second time, but that gave me a free switching into the Scrafty for the Drain Punch as well, so even if I didn't get the burn, the Gigalith would still be at a very critical and be forced to switch out. Serena would definitely have died, but at this point, the Excadrill would have also been dead from here. I miss it. I don't want to risk it again, especially in the sand, so I switch out into my Volcarona, sacking it at this point, going for that little bit of extra chip damage with a Life Orb, and the Volcarona goes down, the burn goes onto the Excadrill, and I bring in my Scrafty. At this point, I know I can live an Earthquake. He switches out into the Jolteon. I was expecting Air Balloon, but it isn't. I get the Drain Punch, get a nice chunk of health back. Not knowing what this Jolteon will do, probably a Volt Switch. I definitely want to keep this alive for the Excadrill because that is my second main counter to Excadrill. As it is a hidden power, probably flying because that was neutral damage. I bring Psychic on the Gardevoir. I do manage to take out the Jolteon, but I do take a lot of damage. At this point, the Absol comes in. I click Psychic because I'm just sacking this thing at this point. This is a special Absol, and the Fire Blast comes up. I go into Mamoswine because at this point, Earthquake kind of just beats everything. Earthquake, Absol is down. He has to bring in the Gigalith to set up the sand for the Excadrill to potentially sweep. Earthquake kills the Gigalith as well. Comes out the Excadrill. Yes, if this Excadrill wasn't burned, everything would have been fine. That would have been a dead Mamoswine. But at the same time, if this was perfect world, Gardevoir would have also hit. But Anyways, Excadrill does not manage to get the flinch on the Mamoswine, which actually would have mattered. And if he managed to get the flinch on the Mamoswine, he had a chance of winning, even through the burn. But he sadly doesn't get it, and Mamoswine managed to pick up the kill on the Excadrill, and we managed to make it out of week 1 of the playoffs, which is pretty great for us. We win 2-0 against Granbel, which was a great game against you. I had a lot of fun playing against you, so good job on that. But compared to last season, where we lost 5-0 in week 1, we are now moving on to the semifinals, which is amazing. But the only bad part about it is we're facing the highest record team, the Philadelphia Golems, coached by Simple, who manages to somehow get Kieran Black, Victini, and Mega Pinsir on the same team. So that's going to be very scary to beat. Hopefully we manage to get past that. Even if we don't, it will be a great game, and I definitely know I'll put a lot of my work into that. Hopefully we do manage to win that match as well and get into the playoffs, get into the finals, going for the chance at the cup, and being the only hope for the Primal Conference to make it to the playoffs. Only hope, because this was the last match and every other team in the Primal Conference lost. Except for us, which is great. I will say the hacks did matter, but I mean, you kind of have to go both ways. You got burned, I missed Focus Blast. Either way, Excadrill would have either died. Either way. But it was a great match. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the match. Hope you guys were as hyped as I was for this. And hope you guys are still rooting for the Twin Leaf Turtwigs in week 2 of the playoffs when we face the Philadelphia Golems. Alright, see you guys soon. Bye-bye.